Hi, everyone. Welcome to Real Estate Millionaires Power Team. In celebration of International Women's Day, we are featuring empowered women who had made a big change in their life, inspiring stories that will provide value to the listeners and be able to apply this in their life. And I would like to share you the story of our guest speaker for the day. Help me spread this episode by liking, commenting, and sharing to the people that will touch their life and take the action to be the better version of themselves. Our guest speaker for the day is a founder of Toronto Women's Club, a certified public accountant, a realtor, a single mom who raised her four children, and she was featured in TorontoStories.com about her life from poor immigrant to millionaire. And she was a true rags to riches story. Without further ado, let's welcome Cora Cristobal. Hi, Cora. How are you?
Hi, Jennelyn. I'm good. Thank you very much.
Hi there. So I was inspired by your story prior to coming to Canada. So I have read about articles about you, but I would like to share this story and you can give us a short. I know it's a long story, but you can just give a short story of you prior coming to Canada.
Well, before coming to Canada, I was already a real estate investor.
Okay.
Before becoming a real estate investor, I started as a real estate broker. And before becoming a real estate broker, I was an accounting manager controller because I'm a certified public accountant. So I changed my career from becoming an accountant to real estate broker to becoming a real estate investor, and then I came to Canada.
And what was the life that you have way back before? Just the gist of that. And why did you come to Canada? Because as you mentioned, you have a great position there back home. And now coming to Canada, you know how hard it is becoming an immigrant here in Canada and setting your priorities and your career for the first time again.
That's right. I already have a very good life in the Philippines because from becoming an accountant to real estate investor, I became very successful, and I was already financially independent at age 35. But I had four kids, and life is not all a bed of roses. Sometimes things happen, and I became a victim of a scam, and I lost a big sum of money,
Mhm.
and I thought that I needed to go to another place where I can bring my children and bring them a better life. So I actually did this not for myself, but for my children, because I knew that to go to another country like Canada, you have to start all over again. And I was not that young anymore, but my children are very young. And I decided to bring the whole family to Canada for them to
Mhm.
have a better future, to have a safer, brighter future.
And when you came to Canada, what are the experiences that you have and what are the things that you do to land your first job here in Canada?
Yes, it was not very easy to start all over again. First, you have to find a place to live, and they will look for your proof of employment, because they want to make sure you will be able to pay the rent. And I did not have a job. To find a job, you need some Canadian experience. You are new in Canada. How can you have a Canadian experience? So I went to volunteer so that I can gain Canadian experience, and it was a great experience because I was in a large company for my volunteer work, and true enough, after that I got my first job, an
Oh.
invoicing clerk. So that was a job that I did like 30 years ago, but
Okay.
I don't mind. I was ready to sacrifice
Mhm.
because I was no longer looking for titles. I was no longer looking for positions. I and I was no longer looking for big salaries that I used to have in the Philippines. Position, title, and salaries. I had all that in the Philippines,
Mhm.
having
Mhm.
been a controller vice president in American multinational companies. But at the time, I was ready to sacrifice for the sake of my 4 young children. I
And
did all of that. It was very hard, but I
mhm.
managed to cope up with all those hardships.
And how were you able to cope up with that expectations? And how did you get into, because I know you're a realtor back home. How were you able to get back to the where you are right now to succeed? What are the steps that you did?
First of all, you have to study yourself. Take inventory of your skills,
Mhm.
and you have to think about what is it that you really want in life. What is it that makes you happy? What is it that excites you when you wake up in the morning? What is your passion? And
Mhm.
because real estate is my passion, so from being an accountant, I thought I should go back to real estate investing, because back in the Philippines, I was a successful real estate
Mhm.
investor and a broker. And so once you know what it is,
Mhm.
so it is already in my blood, very passionate about real estate investing. So I decided to give up my accounting career. You have to make a decision. And
Yes.
in life, you can always switch careers, right?
Mhm.
Well, some people probably are scared to switch careers because there's risk, right? There's
Mhm.
risk. But I was very sure about what I wanted, and
Mhm.
I know that real estate has given me financial independence, and I know that if I'll do it again, then I will achieve the same status as what I had back home, and through an app. So I had very little savings, and I continue saving money, and that's how I was able to buy property after property. And from my first residential property, I was putting in more mortgage payments. So I was able to build a large equity. So I took the equity on my house. I got lines of credit. I have
Mhm.
to make sure that my credit rating is high, and I pay my bills on time. So my credit rating is always excellent,
Mhm.
and I save money. I am a person who always set aside money because that's my training. So if you are saving for your deposit, your down payment, and then you have a good credit rating, and then I educate myself.
Okay,
I
that's the
studied
best
real
investment.
estate, became a real estate agent in Canada, and then I studied real estate investing. I invested in myself, put in so much money in my education.
Mhm.
If On top of being a real estate agent and my experience back home, I searched for real estate investing courses, and went to events so that I can learn from same-minded people who I probably have more experience than I did. So that's what I did: educate and invest in myself.
Did you use a realtor when you bought your first property?
Yes, I used a realtor when I bought my first property. I believe that using a professional is better than
Mhm.
not using a professional, because when I bought my first property, I was not yet a licensed real estate agent,
Oh.
and I don't want to gamble. Like, maybe I save
Mhm.
$10,000 for realtors fees, but will make a mistake because there's nobody guiding me. So I would rather pay an agent. But I want to be sure about the transaction that I go
Okay.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being a realtor yourself, could you provide us a tip on how to find a realtor that will help you first buy your first property? And then if you decided that you wanted to acquire more, to invest on more property so that you could leave a legacy to your children and you could build your wealth as well.
The best thing, if you are a first-time home buyer, you always get a referral. My first priority is a referral, because realtors who has a good track record, and you ask families and friends if they
Mhm.
can refer you to a good real estate agent, because they already have an experience with them. Number two, if you are looking to be a first-time investor, look for a real estate agent who is already a successful real estate
Mhm.
investor. Real estate investors have a different mindset, and not all real estate agents have that mindset of a real estate investor. Not all real estate agents are real estate investors.
Mhm.
So when you are a real estate investor, or you are starting to become a real estate investor, I would advise you hire a real estate agent who is a real estate investor, because they have the right mindset and they have great experience, and they will save you tons of money and will give you great deals.
Okay. So right now, as your status, do you still use a realtor or you yourself are finding the deal?
Okay, yeah, I myself find the deals because I have access to the TREB systems, and I am a member of several real estate clubs. I'm a member of PIC, I'm a member of RAIN, and
Mhm.
I continue to educate myself. I attend courses, I attend events, so I continue to educate myself. So I use all resources. But because I'm busy, if I'm selling my own property, I will get a realtor in my brokerage who will assist me and will split the commission, because I don't mind
Mhm.
giving it to a realtor whom I trust, but
Okay.
usually in the same brokerage as I am, because I have had many things. Real estate investing is not the only thing that I do, so I use all resources.
Okay, that's excellent. And what are your tips for the first-time home buyers that would select their realtor? So that's the first questions that they will ask. But is there any other tips that you could provide to them?
Yes, I would advise that they will get a good realtor. There are realtors who are concentrating on first time home buyers. They do nothing. Realtors who do nothing but real estate first time home buyers. They are realtors who cater to investors. They are realtors who specializes in residential. There are real estate agent who specializes in commercial. There are real estate agent who specializes in industrial.
Mhm.
So if you are a first-time home buyer, get an agent who is an expert on first-time home buying, because they will give you tips like, will you invest in RRSP? How can you use your RRSP?
Yes,
Because
those are the tips.
these also have tax implications, so you can save money. And of course, you need to get a realtor who has great experience, long enough years of experience, right? And
Does the
eh,
location matters? Like if I want to buy a property here in Mississauga, should I find a realtor that lives in Mississauga?
yes, yes, yes. It is important if you are looking to buy in Mississauga, get a realtor who specializes or who lives in Mississauga, who knows the area Mississauga. You don't want a realtor who is in Hamilton and does not know the area, because a realtor a realtor needs to be an expert in the area, because every location is different. So you
Mhm.
get a realtor who is a realtor in that area, Mississauga, Toronto, Hamilton, wherever. So because you cannot be an expert in all locations.
In
There
all
are,
location,
yes, you cannot be
exactly.
an expert. So somebody expert in that location.
Okay, yep. So I know you're very successful now, not only as a real estate agent, you also mentor and coach people on how to be successful and particularly move on to their next career. So before we go to what are the activities that you're currently doing right now, I have a segment here. It's about a 60-second minute talk. It's all about you and the preference that you wanted to choose in this portion. So we can begin right now by asking you the first question here. So turnkey or fixer upper property,
Turnkey,
money partner or expert partner,
money partner,
wealth or health,
help,
investor or agent,
investor,
cash flow or appreciation,
cash flow,
residential or commercial,
residential,
single family or multifamily,
single family,
flip houses or wholesale,
wholesale,
Hamilton or Midland,
Hamilton,
cottage or hotel.
neither.
Okay. Tiny homes or RV,
What's the first one?
tiny homes or RV.
Tiny homes.
Templex or sixplex?
Tenplex.
Boiler or furnace?
Furnace.
Okay, time's up. Thank you very much,
You're
Cora.
welcome.
Yeah, so what are your activities up to now?
I am very proud to share that I am bringing Jack Canfield to Toronto
Okay.
on April 6th. So I would like to take this opportunity to invite everybody to join me at the Wealth Mastery. That's the name of the event, Wealth Mastery.
Okay.
I'm very sure everybody would like to know how they can acquire wealth, and wealth not only in terms of finances, but as you mentioned, we have a wealth of health, we have a wealth of friends, we have a wealth of family, you have a wealth of relationship, we have a wealth of your spirituality in all areas of your life. So wealth
Mhm.
is not only about money, but wealth in all areas of your life.
And where can they reach you?
They can reach me by going to my website, torontowomensclub.com. And in Facebook, I have 3 pages in Facebook. First is my personal page, then the Toronto Women's Club page, and the real estate agent page. Or you can also send me an email at Cora at torontowomensclub.com.
Okay, so we'll post that on the website to get to know Cora and what are her activities, and you can follow her on that. Thank you very much, Cora, and we're
Thank
looking
you.
forward for your event.
Thank you.
Bye
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much. All the
bye.
best.